Betting on green hydrogen to fulfill energy needs is risky. Context. As per the study published in the journal Nature Energy, green hydrogen would likely supply less than 1% of final energy globally by 2035. What is green hydrogen? 54 Insights on India. Com. Hydrogen, when produced by electrolysis using renewable energy, is known as green hydrogen, which has no carbon footprint. Challenges for green hydrogen. Low investment, low stage of technology for sustainable production. The challenges in ramping up the supply of electrolyzers, a device in which green hydrogen is produced. Electrolysis capacity is still tiny compared to where we need to be in 2050 for net zero emission scenarios. Recommendations. Implementing strong policies could reverse the setbacks. Fostering green hydrogen growth will therefore require strong dedication, coordination, and funding along the entire value chain. Carbon pricing should always form the basis of climate policy. Carbon pricing is a policy tool that puts a tax on producers of greenhouse gas emissions, accelerating the rollout of crucial zero carbon technologies like electric mobility and heat pumps. These technologies make more efficient use of scarce renewable electricity. Significance for green hydrogen. India, being a tropical country, has a significant edge in green hydrogen production due to its favorable geographical conditions and abundant natural resources. Producing hydrogen from renewables in India is likely to be cheaper than producing it from natural gas. Efforts in this regard. 1. National Hydrogen Mission increase production to 5 million metric tons (MMT) by 2030 to meet about 40% of domestic requirements. 2. Green hydrogen and green ammonia policy that offers 25 years of free power for any new renewable energy plants set up for green hydrogen production before July 2025. 3. EU set a target of achieving 10 million tons of domestic renewable hydrogen production. Insta links. Green hydrogen. Safe harbor. Context. US and India are looking to remove special protection available to social media platforms, called Safe Harbor. What is Safe Harbor? In the US, social media companies enjoy special protection under US, the Communications Decency Act (CDA). It is similar to Section 79 of India's Information Technology Act, 2000, Act, which classifies social media platforms as intermediaries and broadly shields them from legal action based on content users post on their platforms. Both these regulations offer social media platforms something called a safe harbor. Rationale behind safe harbor. Since platforms cannot control at the first instance what users post on their site, they should not be held legally liable for any objectionable content they host as long as they agree to take such content down when flagged by the government or various courts. Although tech platforms can help keep us connected, create a vibrant marketplace of ideas, and open up new opportunities for bringing products and services to market, they can also divide us and wreak serious real world harms. Need for regulations. A small number of dominant internet platforms use their power to exclude market entrants, to engage in rent seeking, and to gather intimate personal information that they can use for their own advantage. The platforms are currently shielded from being held liable and lack adequate incentive to reasonably address issues such as child sexual exploitation, cyberstalking, and the non consensual distribution of intimate images of adults. Key principles to keep the power of social media in check. By the US enhance competition, maintain privacy, care for youth mental health, discourage misinformation and disinformation, ban illegal and abusive conduct, including sexual exploitation. Correct algorithmic discrimination, encourage a lack of transparency, bring greater accountability. Other solution. Set clear limits on their ability to collect, use, transfer, and maintain our personal data, limits on targeted advertising. Steps taken by India. India had notified extensive changes to information technology rules. 2021 It rules creation of government backed grievance appellate committees which would have the authority to review and revoke content moderation decisions taken by platforms. Social media platforms to appoint key personnel to handle law enforcement requests and user grievances, enabling identification of the first originator of the info. Insights on India. Com 55. Mention on its platform under certain conditions, India is looking for a complete overhaul of its technology policies and is expected to soon come out with a replacement of its IT Act 2000, which will look at ensuring net neutrality, data privacy, and algorithmic accountability of social media platforms. However, social media companies have objected to some of the provisions in the IT rules, as it will dilute the encryption security on its platform and could compromise the personal messages of millions of Indians. Insta-links, social media and law of land. Mains links, Q. Social media needs regulations but not to the extent that it is difficult for them to do business in India. Comment. CRISPR. Context. Over the last 3 years, gene editing technology with nearly unlimited potential has produced flawless results in clinical trials. India has approved a 5-year project to develop CRISPR to cure sickle cell anemia. Genome editing, also called gene editing technologies, allow genetic material to be added, removed, or altered at particular locations in the genome. Several approaches to genome editing have been developed. Working on CRISPR. Its mechanism is often compared to the cut copy paste or find replace functionalities in common computer programs. A bad stretch in the DNA sequence, which is the cause of disease or disorder, is located, cut, and removed, and then replaced with a correct sequence. Potential applications of genome editing technologies. Better understanding of diseases. Most users of genome editing have been in scientific research, for example, to investigate models of human disease, or several therapeutic interventions using CRISPR for diseases like thalassemia or sickle cell anemia have gone into clinical trials, or this will avoid most of the avoidable deaths in e.g., due to cancer in poor countries. Identifying threats. Genome editing has been used to develop a suite of tools that scientists can use to better understand new and existing pathogens. All this can help to develop and poor countries are prepared for incoming threats of diseases. Developing new treatments. The potential of genome editing to impact the development and use of new treatments is tremendous. All genome editing technologies have a major advantage over traditional drugs in that they can target the genetic basis of disease. This can drastically lower the cost of life-threatening diseases. Treating genetic diseases. It has huge potential in the field of genetic diseases. Or poor countries like Nigeria, Sudan and tribals in India have witnessed the rise in cases of diseases like sickle cell anemia, thalassemia etc. Other potential uses. Genome editing technologies also have a number of relevant applications to global health security outside of the human body. Gene drives have the potential to control vectors and minimize the possibility of certain outbreaks whose impact is felt by poor countries more. It can help either by eliminating the vector entirely or by editing the vector's genome to remove its ability to carry a particular agent. 56 or Insights on India. Com. Government steps. In 2021, India approved a 5-year project to develop this technology to cure sickle cell anemia, which mainly afflicts the tribal populations of the country. The ethical dilemma. Design a baby. In 2018, a Chinese researcher disclosed that he had altered the genes of a human embryo to prevent the infection of HIV. This was the first documented case of creating a designer baby, and it caused widespread concern in the scientific community. Changes in the embryo pass on to the generations. It may thus create a community of superhumans. In the case of therapeutic interventions, the changes in genetic sequences remain with the individual and are not passed on to the offspring. Insta links. What is CRISPR-Cas9? Practice questions. Q. Discuss the CRISPR gene editing technology and the concerns raised by it. 250 words. Q. What is the Cas9 protein that is often mentioned in news? UPSC 2019 A molecular scissors used in targeted gene editing. B. A biosensor used in the accurate detection of pathogens in patients. C. A gene that makes plants pest resistant. D. A herbicidal substance synthesized in genetically modified crops. Answer A. Q. With reference to agriculture in India, how can the technique of genome sequencing, often seen in the news, be used in the immediate future? UPSC 2017 Genome sequencing can be used to identify genetic markers for disease resistance and drought tolerance in various crop plants. Though this technique helps in reducing the time required to develop new varieties of crop plants. Theme. It can be used to decipher the host pathogen relationships in crops. Select the correct answer using the code given below. A. 1 only, B. 2 and 3 only, C. 1 and 3 only, D. 1, 2 and 3 answer, D. Integrated Cryogenic Engine Manufacturing Facility, ICMF, at HAL. Context. President Draupadi Murmu inaugurated Hindustan Aeronautics Limited's HAL Integrated Cryogenic Engine Manufacturing Facility, ICMF, in Bengaluru. The ICMF is dedicated to rocket manufacturing and its assembly for ISRO. The facility will boost self-reliance in the manufacturing of high-thrust rocket engines. On January 5, 2014, India successfully flew GSLV-D5 with a cryogenic engine, made by ISRO through private industries, and became the sixth country in developing cryogenic engines. About cryogenic technology. Cryogenics is the study of the production and behavior of materials at extremely low temperatures below -150 degrees centigrade to lift and place heavier objects in space. A cryogenic engine provides more force with each kilogram of cryogenic propellant it uses compared to other propellants, such as solid and liquid propellant rocket engines, and is more efficient. Cryogenic engine makes use of liquid oxygen blocks and liquid hydrogen (LH2) as propellants which liquefy at -183°C and -253°C respectively. About cryogenic fuels. Fuels that are required to be stored at extremely low temperatures in order to maintain them in a liquid state are cryogenic fuels. These fuels are used in machinery that operates in space, e.g., rocket ships and satellites, because ordinary fuel cannot be used because of the very low temperatures often encountered in space, and due to the absence of an environment that supports combustion on Earth. Oxygen is abundant in the atmosphere, whereas human explorable space is a vacuum where oxygen is virtually non existent. Cryogenic fuels most often constitute liquefied gases such as liquid hydrogen. Importance of cryogenic technology for India. Advancement of the space program, lighter weight and cost effective. Clean technology. Cryogenic technology uses hydrogen and oxygen as fuel and releases water as a byproduct. Edge over other countries in modern technology. Ah. Insights on India. COM 57. Insta links. About cryogenic technology. Mains link Q. What is cryogenic technology? Why is it important for India and how has India acquired this technology? Examine. Thus M. Environment. Plastic. Context. MoFCC has notified the Plastic Waste Management Amendment Rules 2021 on August 12, 2021. India has signed a resolution to draw up an agreement under UNEA. India is a party to it that will make it legally binding for signatories to address the full life cycle of plastics, from production to disposal. What is single-use plastic? As the name suggests, it refers to plastic items that are used once and discarded. E.g., plastics used in packaging items, bottles, shampoo, detergents, cosmetics, polythene bags, face masks, coffee cups, cling film, trash bags, food packaging, etc. Status. As per the Mindaru Foundation Report 2021, single-use plastics account for a third of all plastic produced globally, with 98% manufactured from fossil fuels. India features in the top 100 countries of single-use plastic waste generation at rank 94, the top 3 being Singapore, Australia and Oman. India's domestic production